Good afternoon, viewers. This is our international once again, and today we are in the very beautiful, serene village of Mpasetia, and it's a community, it's a small community in the Ashanti region of Ghana. And today we are here with our very hard-working, indefatigable farmers in Mpasetia. So we want to talk to them. We want to know about their work, and then we want to know about how much they are aware about climate change. We want to know about what they require to do their work and any aid that they need to do their work more effectively. So once again, this is Kunedu, and I have with me our two very hard-working farmers.
Please, sir, what is your name? They call me Kwame Atta in the house, but my Islam name is Hussein Yeboah.
Oh, okay.
Please, for how long have you been doing this farming? This is what I do for a living. I've done it for like 50 years now.
Wow. Daddy, but what did you say?
59 years.
Oh, I see.
Sir, please, what is your name too? So I have with me here Wafa Boache and Dada Atta, two very experienced cocoa farmers. Please, sir, regarding this particular farm, can you kindly show the camera around? You confirmed for us this particular farm is over 5 acres. Please, sir, for how long have you been working in this particular farm? I've worked on this for 14 years. Please, did you come to meet a thick forest or you inherited a cocoa farm here? Please, it was a thick forest, and I started here with cassava and maize and pepper. It was later I decided to do cocoa farming. It's been 14 years now.
Oh, okay.
Please, when you came to meet a thick forest and you decided to plant on the soil, did you have to take down all the trees? Yes, we had to do so.
Okay, but
so in this regard, we are learning, viewers, we are all learning here. If there are trees and you decide to plant underneath them, will that not be possible? It depends on the type of soil. Some soils, if you cut all the trees and you decide to plant, it will not work. Others, if you observe the type, you may have to cut down the trees and the cocoa will work fine. For mine, I had to cut down all the trees, and in the beginning it worked fine, and the cocoa adapted fine to the climate conditions.
Oh, okay.
I would like to further ask, you are saying here you have to cut down the trees for the cocoa to adapt to climate conditions like the heat from the sun and such climate conditions. And I'm asking, don't these long trees provide shade for the cocoa so at least the soil can retain some water? The truth of the matter is that when there are long trees in the cocoa farm, they are unable to bud. The seedlings are genetically modified and they don't need much water. So when you look around, you see the trees are at intermittent intervals. So this allows the sun rays to reach the soil for more strength and productivity. That's impressive. This shows you are well informed about the work you are doing. When I look around, I can see the fallen leaves of the cocoa trees scattered all over. I would want to ask that these fallen leaves, we can see that most of them have turned brownish. Is there a particular use of these leaves? Is it intentioned or it just fell off like that? The truth of the matter is that when the trees fall off like that, it helps the soil. We are in the dry season now, and these coverings help cool the soil, which helps strengthen the plant. And the small insects who help make the plant nutritious are not killed by the sun. So these coverings are extremely helpful.
Okay, Daddy. That's baby.
You said you have planted here for like 14 years now. And we are aware that when you plant on a particular land for a very long time like this, the nutrients in the soil deplete. And I would want to ask, have you experienced anything as such? And if so, how are you able to help the cocoa grow for your profitability? Regarding the cocoa production, you always have to protect the plant, especially from the swollen shoot virus. There is this disease called the swollen shoot virus that if you're able to well manage, the cocoa grows well. And if you often weed around the plant, the cocoa gains strength too. If you often protect the plant will be strong. If you look around this farm, you notice I don't let weeds grow. I'm always on the farm working, and I handle every instance of the virus immediately. And every dose of fertilizer I have to use, I'm quick on it. So we are in the dry season, but you notice that my plants are strong. I would want to ask further, do Agric officers, extension officers, private stakeholders like climate change advocates and government officials often visit you to discuss the plight of your business, and also do they extend some form of help to you? Yes, that is the case. Often in the space of a month, they will visit and give us the necessary training and knowledge and the chemicals we can use to help every disease instance. So we are taking notice that unlike the urban small-scale farmers, the cocoa farmers often receive help from government and private stakeholders. We have realized that over the past 4 years, we have experienced in Ghana some serious climate changes. When the dry season elapses, we are expecting the rainy season to also continue to a certain point. But recently, we have observed that when we are expectant of the rains, it often fails. And when we are expectant of the dry seasons too, then the rainy conditions linger. I don't know if you realize what I'm talking about. What impact does this have on the cocoa farming? When the rains fail to start in due time, the cocoa pod development process weakens. And when there is an overabundance of rains, there is an incident called the black pod, which make the cocoa pods appear blackish and is unable to grow. And that calls for the use of chemicals, which sometimes are environmentally unfriendly. In your own opinion, how do you weigh in on the incidences of climate change over the previous years? In some few years down the line, we have seen some serious climate changes which often affect most things we do. What do you think caused this? Not so sure, but we cocoa farmers are often affected by these climatic changes you are discussing here. Because if we had enough rains by now, the cocoa pod would have appeared more than we are seeing here. But because of less rains, the plant's strength for pod development is very little. And over the past few years, there are serious climatic changes consequences we are facing in this industry. We are unable to get timely rains for pod development, and it brings about black pods and these diseases we face. I would want to ask, in the situation where you are unable to get enough fishing due to these climate changes, do government and or other stakeholders come in your support, give you some incentives or some financial support because you are unable to meet your target? I understand perfectly what you're saying, but there is no government policy to support us in this regard. It was some few months ago that the previous government made the policy and registered all cocoa farmers to take steps in supporting us during rain failure seasons. But because the government has changed, we are not aware of any such thing going on anymore. If rains fail, you don't have any hope as a cocoa farmer. As I'm talking to you right now, I need water on this plant. I have to fetch them from the house and bring them here. So we have a serious water crisis problem here. In that instance, we see this is a very huge farm. So how are you able to get enough water to water all this land you have here? Because the rains are unable to fall, I have spread these leaves under the plant to give it some cooler and more humid microclimate. We also spread the husk of the pot under the plant to give it some more humid climate and help water retention. That means the outer shell of the cocoa, after the seeds are taken out, are also useful. Yes, if spread on the surface, it fertilizes the soil. In that case, does it mean you will not need water on the soil? The truth of the matter is that if there were to be some water source near, I would have easily gone for it. But there is no water source near. So I have to bring water from the far distance from my house and bring it to the farm at a very high price. There is no water source around here.